I'm Glenn Poveromo, and I'm here to offer you some tips for positive thinking. And before we get into the tips, I would just like to begin by thanking all of you who are out there doing the best that you can to keep us safe. And I offer to you my sincere thanks and gratitude. So, today's tip for the day is to learn to consciously choose your thoughts and emotions. Because when we learn to consciously choose our thoughts and emotions, we can create a better moment in time for ourselves. See, we're in an unprecedented moment in time right now. We know when it began, but we don't know when this is going to end. There's so much uncertainty that's involved. And in this moment of uncertainty, we're all bound to experience just a whole plethora of emotions and thoughts, an actual roller coaster. Because we're going to have moments when we feel frustrated, angry, sad, uncertain, frightened, hopeless. And we're also going to experience a lot of moments when we feel very uplifted and we feel positive and we feel like we're getting somewhere, you see? And what happens is, the more that we can create the positive moments as we navigate this, the better it is for us on so many different levels. You see, our thoughts and our emotions, what they do is they create a state of mind. And when we're in this state of mind long enough, well, then we're in a state of being. So if we're in a positive state of being, we navigate more gracefully than if we're in a negative state of being. And our states of being have a great effect on our state of health. And I think that's pretty well for you all to understand. But I think what happens is a lot of us, we become so invested in our thoughts and emotions that we don't know how to get out of them. We don't know how to get from a negative place to a positive place. And that's what I'm going to discuss with you right now. Because there are ways that we can move from the negative to the positive. And when we find ourselves slipping into the negative, we can move ourselves into a more positive direction. Well, the first thing that happens is just awareness. You see, when we're feeling these negative emotions and we're thinking these negative thoughts, the first thing to do is just be aware and say, you know what? I'm thinking and I'm feeling in the wrong direction. That's just the first step. Because once you understand that, now you're gaining some control of what you're thinking and feeling. So awareness is the first one that we have to know about. And then the second thing that I use all the time is a thing called transitions. So what does the prefix trans mean? It means moving across. That's what it means. So what can we do to transition ourselves from negative thoughts and emotions into more positive thoughts and emotions? How can we go from this place to that place? And I use this all the time for myself. I use it all the time because I start to understand that, wait a minute, whatever I'm thinking and I'm feeling, yes, I acknowledge that I'm doing that, but you know what? In this same moment, I could be thinking and feeling something entirely different. And if I can think something entirely different, I can feel a whole different way. And my outlook will change in a whole different way. So what I do is I try to create transitions for myself. And there's a lot of little tricks we can play with our minds. Like a lot of times I'll start to think about some crazy things I did with my crazy friends when I was a kid. And it'll distract me from those negative places. Or I might think of some of the things I've accomplished. Or I might think of a lot of the kids I worked with and that I've coached and I taught through the years who made me feel so good. Or I think about my family and I think about all these different things I may have accomplished. But you understand what I'm saying? I start to move my thoughts and emotions from a place that's not really good for me, and I start to move it in a direction to thoughts and feelings that are better for me. So transitions is very powerful, and when you learn to use that tool, you can start your move to yourself into a better place. The other thing I start to do all the time that helps me is to understand that I am in a moment in time. And in this moment in time, I have a choice. I can stay in a negative place or I can move to a positive place because I know it's a moment in time. And when I'm in a negative place, I understand, yeah, it hurts, it frustrates me, it might be whatever it is, but I know that I can get to a better moment in this journey that we're experiencing right now. And that's what I try to do. So I transition into a better moment. It's all about moments. That's exactly what it is. You know, if you just think about it for a second, in any moment we can think and feel whatever we want to think and feel. There are so many things right now that are happening that we can't control. There are things that are way beyond our control. There are things and freedoms that we had to do that they're no longer available to us. And it's just because the situation we're in. So what's our best choice? Our best choice is to use our thoughts and our emotions to make as many positive moments as we can. You know, the one thing we can always control is our attitude. And when we start to understand that, we can actually take a difficult place and make it into a little bit better. And that's a wonderful thing to do, and it's not really difficult to do. You know, it's really learning a skill, and I say this in most of the videos that I make, is that it's a skill that we can learn. It's not different than learning a sport, or learning to play a musical instrument, or learning a craft, or learning how to cook, or whatever it might be. It's something that we can learn to do. And the more that we use our awareness that it's possible, and the more that we understand it's just to create a better moment for ourselves. And as we start to do that, and we learn to do that, here's what happens. Once we learn to make a better moment for ourselves, then the next time that we need to do it, we'll know how to do it, and we can create a better moment for ourselves. And it goes on and on and on in that direction, taking us from what's negative to what's positive. And it's very possible because, you know, the more positive that we can keep ourselves in what we think and what we feel, the more we fortify ourselves within to keep ourselves healthy. And it's not always easy, but it's always doable. It begins with awareness, with making transitions, bringing yourself from negative over to the positive, and understand that we can control our thoughts and our emotions to create a better moment in time. These are things that are really doable. They're things that are good for you. And what happens is, as you begin to do this, you model it for other people. And if other people see what you've modeled and they're able to do what you're able to do, perhaps they can model it for other people. And you're actually paying this forward. Because right now, the world needs as much positivity that we can possibly offer it. It really does. And you can contribute to this positivity just by the fact that you understand that you're capable of choosing your thoughts and emotions to make better moments in time. So that's my tip for you. I hope it helps you. I hope you use it. And I hope that you will all be able to contribute to the common good. So what I'd like to do is end this by saying to you all, I wish safe passage to you and your loved ones through this very, very unprecedented and challenging moment in time. And I wish for you all to be safe, to be happy, to be healthy, and to be well. I'm Glenn Poveromo, and I thank you very much.